United Financial Group is a trust asset management company that invests into the development of new generation innovative drugs. UFG is the most advanced industries and technologies, including safe medicine and IT blockchain development. Our mission is to set up a well-balanced investment portfolio for everyone. United Financial Group, invest with us and create your own future. Good evening. Well, everyone knows that a week ago or so, we have accrued all dividends to our investors, and you can see the entire shares on the slide. So how many shares took part in that dividend, the overall net profit of the company, and the number of funds allocated for the company participatory shares. So the dividends were accrued not per one share, but per 1,000 shares. Someone wrote that it was not enough, someone wrote that it was fine. So everyone has his own opinion about this. And from myself, I would say that if we look deeper, the dividends could have been spent not to you, not for a dividend payout, but for the company development, as well as for the company promotion. Given the fact that our company is not yet making a lot of money, so that could have been useful to spend this money for the strategic development, but we decided to pay out dividends. We wanted to just give some pleasure to you, so to speak, that the company walks the talk, and if the first dividends, the first dividends for 2020 were allocated to your account. So if you look per amount of dividends for one participatory share, and if we run parallels with major companies working for many years at the market with billion-dollar incomes, both Russian and foreign, their dividends, well, on average, are 3 to 10% of the company profit. So in this range. And again, when a company pays a lot of money as dividends, the investors are a little bit cautious about that, because they think whether the company has enough funds to continue its development, to scale its business, to launch new products. So this is the point. And when companies pay a lot of dividends, sometimes and quite often, their share price goes down after that. When our company came into being, it was not when we were officially incorporated last September, but if we decided to work on launching our first product, we began working last March. In March 2020, it's less than a year. And, our incorporation took place in September 2019. But if we consider our company, there is a venture company. It's not a clear, mature business. We are a venture company. And venture companies usually leave from startup time to certain profits starts from 3 years and above, and some good results within such a short period of time are not very, feasible. And I don't think that you should demand this, because only those who don't know much about that could demand, or those who are not interested. So they just consider this business from their own point of view. They don't go deeper. They're not trying to sort it out. So everyone takes his or her own decision what to do with that money. Everyone wants dividends, but we just wanted to make you feel what is that dividend payout. It's an interesting thing. Today, more and more people who are doing investment, they realize that the pharmaceuticals market is pretty interesting in terms of investment and venture investment. The most lucrative investment options start at the earliest stage of the company development. If we take venture companies development, we can say that the very start point is the seeding point, when there is a person with an idea and he has a CEO and a market idea and nothing else. No funds, no development. So this is the very first funding stage, and usually business angels allocate money at such stages like $20,000 to $30,000. Not big money, but the startup starts moving using that money. We are a little bit different. We have overcome that stage, and we are now nearing the so-called round A of funding, which means that the company has a certain stage, and to scale up, it needs some financial funds amounting to, depending on the company funding in Europe or in the US, the American amounts are bigger than in Europe. So European amounts are from 2 to 5 million, and round A funding in the United States could start from 10 to $30 million. And we are now moving to that stage. When we arrive at that stage, it means that we will have our pre-production batch of astromelanin. Some trials would be ready, and we will be ready to start larger scale production and scale it further up. And we would need money for that. And based on which funds are going to be needed by us, we would think what to do. For those who don't know yet, I would say that the United Financial Group company is about development of biotech products. One product has already been launched for production, the Research Balsam. We are now moving from smaller scale to larger scale production. The automated line should be supplied to us within a month. There were some delays due to some COVID restrictions, and we are going to launch our eShop soon. The second product that is going to be the biggest and the major one in our range of products is astromelanin. It is a bigger deal, and you all know about that. The product was developed in the 70s and 80s in the Soviet Union. It underwent preclinical trials in Israel and in the United States. It got very good results and feedback. There was a letter sent over to the first president of Russia, Boris Yeltsin, signed by the major oncologist of Russia. The biotech product is the biggest, one of the biggest and fastest growing segments, accounting for 20% of the entire sales in the medical industry. This success is related to the fact that the biotech products are more effective versus synthetic medications. It means that the biotech products are made of natural components, and the rest synthetic preparations that are produced of various chemical compositions. I am not a chemist. I cannot give you more information about that, but we could invite a subject matter expert in one of our webinars in the future to tell you more about that. Major pharmaceutical companies in the world have been growing their biotech portfolios, and the total market amounts to $70 billion per annum. The biotech investments globally, I would say that as IT development industry, pharmaceutical industry is one of the most lucrative for investment. That has been demonstrated by M&A figures, that what you can see on the slide. That are merger and acquisitions from major companies of smaller companies. This is 2016. On the left side, there is a buyer. Centrally, you can find a company that is being purchased and the amount in dollars, in billion dollars on the right side. Back in 2015, the biggest transaction was between Teva of Israel and Allergan of the US. The generic business of Allergan was purchased for $40.5 billion. Generics are analogs of pharmaceuticals that have already tested clinically and that they have been sold for a while. So how does it look like when a new medication comes into being? It is being patented, and during the patent time, it is not possible for other companies to produce similar products. Once the patent is over, other companies may produce analogs of that medication, and they are called generics. So this is a generics business. For major companies to participate in such transactions is a way to go into new segments, new markets, reduce competition, and to fill up their portfolios. For a startup, is a good way to attract finances, to boost their commercialization. So this is a way to have more funds to boost their developments and have other developments on stream. The majority of startups with IPO investments and other investments belong to the biotech industry. Immunotherapy of oncology, cellular technologies, as well as genome technologies are the most popular. So this is a short executive summary for you. I think that it was interesting for all of you. I found that information today and I decided to spread the word for you. And now, astromelanin. Some news. In a week, there's going to be the first batch of the medication readily available, and there is a team of people who are willing to take part in astromelanin trials, and now we're going to engage an oncologist who would be ready to work with us under this research work. Next, following the clinical trials, there will be some results, confirmed results, available to us for that medication, and after that, we are going to move towards the pre-production scale of astromelanin, certification and start of astromelanin sales. The certification is going to be made for astromelanin as a herbal nutrient, and then the clinical trials would follow. And after that, the idea is to start astromelanin mass production. So this is information for you. Next point. I have a lot of questions about that. How many shares are outstanding on the 7th investment stage. We're now having 21,560,000 shares today. Are there any promotion campaigns for active partners? Answer: I think that it's possible to do. And you could offer or suggest what kind of promotions would you like to have. Question: what about your opinion on COVID vaccine? Answer: COVID is a viral disease similar to influenza or flu. Any vaccines or any, immunization against such things are not very effective because the virus is changing fast. So it may not work. The vaccine may not work in this case because the virus could change its options. Alexei is asking, will it be possible for us to be purchased by a major company? Answer: why not? If there is a good offer from a company, we would consider it. But so far, it's too early to speak about that because we would be able to speak about that at least in a year. This is the minimum time. I think after 3 years, we would be ready to discuss it. Question: the astromelanin group. May I apply? Yes, you may, of course. We're now getting your applications, but there is no selection yet who's going to be on that team. Most probably, the group that we would be able to gather would be divided into 2 subgroups. So the first subgroup would be worked on first and the second later. It depends on our cancer expert. When he or she is available for us, he would ask advice what was the best way to do so. Question: will there be any promo campaigns with Balsam along with participatory shares? Answer: probably yes, I'm not sure now. The point is that some customs rules have changed, and now the sales and delivery of all our medications are only possible in the former Soviet Union countries, Russia, Belarus, or Ukraine or Armenia. We're not shipping to Asia or Europe or Africa now because it is very time-consuming and it is very, difficult to resolve the delivery issues. So, because there are new rules since January the 1st for the customs, if anything changes, we would certainly let you know. Question: what is the official sales date for the balsam? Answer: I have already said about that. The e-shop is coming over, and the first batch of the balsam by Solar is ready, and I think that the issue is going to be resolved within 3 weeks' time, give or take. Question: what is the relation between ELA and UFG? Answer: well, we are partner companies, and secondly, we helped ELA financially, and following ELA token, when it is on the market, our company would get some profit from that to be spent on dividends or on the company development. So, thank you for your attention.